Yeah.
It's that.
You are just.
We're gonna break all the rules, buddy. The show broadcasts live on the YouTube. We also have, a live audience here. So everybody, just be kind and nice to Amanda, Gerry. That's super important. And we'll have a lot of fun with your host. I think we have a little theme song, Mike, which is clearly not playing in a way that's audible.
Yeah.
The dance along as if you could hear it, everybody. I'm not going backwards on this. It's an open mic. If the theme song doesn't work, it's probably a lot like my jokes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Gang, across the world, around the galaxy, and even in the White House, they got to admit the absolute winner of best host of an open mic virtually anywhere in the world is your host here tonight. Please welcome Mr. Mike Langworthy, ladies and gentlemen. Mike.
That is just too kind. I'm not saying it's inaccurate.
It is.
Saying that it's
right. Maybe that bit I'll do over again. The broken theme song? Fuck no, but
that's
the
Chuck who presents the show every week. I always like the silent theme song concept because that way people can imagine the song being whatever they want it to be.
Right. It's well, give us the whole show, big dog. Tip to the right, everybody, when you're here live in Boys Town.
How about a silent show?
Right. When did Rudy Giuliani start hosting this thing? Welcome back, Mike Langworthy, everybody.
I want to recount on that joke.
I can't wait till you fart during your set.
Oh, pardon me.
I see what you did there.
And what I'm saying by that is, no, never mind. I don't even care. I don't care if you know. I don't care if you don't know. You know what? It's turning out that we have quite the full lineup tonight. I was going to do a whole lot of, material up front, jokes and stuff, because it's my mic and why not? Just to give you a rough idea, I was going to work out this whole bit about how it must have sucked to be Jesus as a child. Some of the people who are on this mic have heard some of the jokes before, but a lot of them are other jokes that are just made up in the meantime. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you this joke about how tough it was when Mary had to go to daycare when she started getting those messages from the daycare teacher. And it's real formal. Whenever she went in there, they would call her Mrs. of Nazareth. And, that's an embarrassment all by itself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when the teacher said, "Look, could you do me one favor, Mrs. of Nazareth? I get that you like your kid. I get that you think he's special. Could you just stop calling him little Lord Jesus?" Is that okay with you? Yes, I know no crying he makes. Just stop calling him little Lord Jesus. Also, if you could keep the halo in the cubby. Keeping some of the other children awake during nap time. Saying. And I've already done the bit about, Jesus didn't know he was Jesus, so he had the same questions everybody else had. Like there was an inevitable time when he had to ask Mary where babies come from, and the answer, of course, would be tough. First of all, it had to have put a strain on the relationship between Joseph and Mary when she says, "Yeah, I'm pregnant." He's like, "What? Wait, we're just engaged and we haven't." Yeah, I know, but it was, and it's an immaculate conception. Yeah, an immaculate conception is what it is. A dove came to me and told me that I was going to have God's child. And Joseph is like, Oh yeah. You want to hand me that wine? I feel like just having a couple of pops before I hear the rest of the story. By the time Jesus was able to ask the question, he was a full-out alcoholic. There's no question about it, Joseph. It's like asking Mary, Jesus asking Mary, where do babies come from? And you hear this drunk in the other room going, yeah, Mary, why don't you tell them where babies come from? I choose to believe it's not that asshole who kept trying to drown the kid. It's called baptism, Joseph. And I'm just good friends with John. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I don't know.
Kids, don't tell us those jokes.
Jesus is like, hey, who do you have to fuck to get a straight answer around here? Well, nobody, obviously. You just have to have a dove fly by you, and the next thing you know, boom, I swear to God, Joseph finally had to admit it. You know what? Maybe it was a dove. I was there for the birth. The afterbirth came out. It was just feathers. Made a throw pillow out of it. It's been your binky since you were a kid. So he's like throwing it across the room. What? All right. Anyway, I'm just saying, it was hard. It was hard raising a kid with special powers. I'm just saying, these are the jokes I'm not going to do, but imagine how funny they would be if I did them. And you're raising a kid with special powers. It'd be like, Jesus, what did we tell you about flushing after you go to the bathroom? Huh? Yes, I know your shit doesn't stink, but still. Did you just remember yesterday when Rover died? And that nice burial service we gave him and the way you cried and everything? You have any idea why the grave is empty today? So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to say that I've had a lot of feelings about the whole thing. Must have been tough. That's all I'm saying. Well, okay. So we got a lot of acts. Excuse me, I'm eating. Why? Because I'm rude. Who cares? Oh, Laura Hugg just came into the room. Good. At least one comic won't steal my brilliant comics. Here it is, what I'm saying. All right, shut up, all of you. But first, let's bring our acts together. For those of you who came in late, I'm going to do this one more time. In the public chat, I will put, basically, generally speaking, I'll be putting 2 acts ahead into the public chat, and spots are 5 minutes long. At 4 minutes, there should be, if I'm smart enough to time these things properly, there'll be a beeper that goes off. I have a little incredibly cheap timer that makes a beeping sound. That means you got a minute to wrap up. Don't make me stop you. I hate doing that, but I will. So our first act tonight is somebody who's been here a couple of times. I like him. I know you're going to like him. Put your hands together for Curt Seablom. Curt Seablom, ladies.
Yeah. Hey. So after 3 years of marriage, I walked in to find my twin brother fucking my wife. So wow. Yeah. All I could do is just yell, "Look at me go!"
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I was like, wait a minute. Those aren't my tattoos. And people have asked me before, well, maybe she was confused. Maybe she thought he was you. Well,
maybe.
This isn't a WB gritty reboot of The Parent Trap. This is my life,
Gritty.
Yes, a gritty reboot, not just WB's dark. I can just picture the trailer,
I hope it wasn't warts and all.
Warts and all. That I was called that in high school. No. Anyway. But I've been called my twin brother's name quite a bit in my life, and I should have suspected something when we were being intimate, my wife and I, or my ex-wife and I, because during sex a couple times she's actually said, "Oh, Kurt's twin.
Yeah.
There really should have been some red flags. Yeah, should have been some red flags. But anyway, here's the other thing too. This is something that really perplexes me. Is I moved in with him, me and my ex-wife and my kids, to help him out because he was newly unemployed and divorced. So basically, she cheated on me with a less successful me. I just got laid off last week, so maybe I became more attractive to her. We'll see. And people have brought up revenge sex to me before too, and of course I thought about it, what about just having sex with her sister? She doesn't have sisters though. She's got a lot of brothers. Anyway.
Bad you want revenge.
Yeah, I'm human.
I want to go back and taste it.
But but I did have to. I had to forgive them. I mean, because it was easier to forgive them than just live alone. And but after that, I could not even masturbate in front of the mirror anymore. No less either, but definitely no more. So, but one of the things was because I had a kid at the time, I promised myself when I was a kid, I would be there for my kids. I would not walk out on my kids, for anything. My father left me when I was young. All I know about him was he was a man's man, because he left my mother for another guy.
Ouch.
But yeah, but eventually I did have to leave. I lost trust with her when she threw out the GPS tracker that I left in her car.
That's good.
I was on Amazon, and I was like, okay, I got to get another car tracker, and then I was like, you know what, this is stupid. I could save so much more money by just making it myself. So I did. I actually built another one. But I didn't put it in because I was like, I don't want to walk. I don't need to walk in on this again, But the other thing was, every time she looked at me lustfully, I just wondered, does she still think I'm him? So I don't know. And I've got 5 kids with her. And if there's any silver lining to the story, at least the kids look like me, Anyway, you guys, I'm Curt. Thanks for having me again. You guys are up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Curt.
Double your pleasure. He's got a twin brother who's a dramatic actor, so we can't have him on the show. Sort of a mirror image thing that happens with people. I'm just saying. That's all. We had a guy here who surprised us in many ways, all of which I really enjoyed the last time he was here, and I look forward to bringing him on again. From Canada. That's right, Canada. We got him from all over the place. If you think that's far away, wait for later in the show. Gerry Hodges, ladies and gentlemen. Gerry Hodges.
So I was going through something similar to what Curt was going through. My last girlfriend just broke up with me. She left me for a Toronto Raptor cheerleader. Yeah, I'm mostly upset, not because that she left me for another woman. It's that they won't let me watch.
Oh, yeah.
Mike was mentioning religion earlier. I gotta admit, I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus Christ. That he's my Lord and Savior, and he happens to be Black, Jewish, and Italian. People laugh at that. Jesus wasn't Black, Jewish, and Italian. Yeah, he was. He helped the needy. That's what the Jewish faith does, right? Right?
Yeah.
He fed the hungry. That's what Italians do, right? And of course Jesus was black. He was born into poverty. Right? He was killed by figures of authority.
Yeah.
And his biological father abandoned him. That's black as a nutshell. Here's my problem with religion, though. I believe everyone has that freedom to believe in whatever you want to believe. My problem is people use religion as a weapon, like for things like bigotry and war, hatred, spreading agendas along those lines. That's not cool at all. I think that we could be more of a positive human race if we can prove somehow that Jesus was black, Jewish, Italian, and gay. What would happen if Jesus was gay, right? And what did he do? He turned water to wine coolers? Banana pineapple, Yeah. He'd walk on water in 6-inch heels? Oh, are those Louis Vuittons? Yes, they are. The Last Supper would have been catered. And it would turn out that the burning bush wasn't an actual bush. It was the name of the first gay club in existence.
Hello.
And also, the 12 apostles weren't actually 12 apostles. They were actually all of Jesus' ex-boyfriends wanting him back at the same time. And I think that religion is sexist because there's no female name in the Bible. I mean, there's Luke, there's John, there's Peter. I mean, there's no Shauna or Jennifer book in the Bible. And I do believe that's sexist. Come and think about it. I mean, religion is sexist. I mean, you can have one guy being followed around by 12 other guys. It turns into a major religion. But if you have one woman being followed around by 12 other women, it's a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
So I celebrated a birthday last month, which I feel is creepy. Not because I'm 1 year closer to the grave, but it's because I share my birthday with Aaron Hernandez.
Oh.
Okay. If you don't know, Aaron Hernandez was a football player. He got sent to prison and killed himself in prison. And if he was a musician or an actor, he would have been a member of the 27 Club. But I'll bring this up here with Aaron Hernandez. It's not so much I share his birthday that's creepy. The creepy part is I found a documentary on him called The Mind of Aaron Hernandez. I found it on Netflix in the suggestion tab, and it was right between Paw Patrol and Peppa Pig.
Oh.
I don't know what's more fucked up. Is it the mind or Netflix's algorithm? I mean, you're going to see something else. Because you watch Boys in the Hood, we suggest you watch, let's see what else. Menace to Society, The Notebook, what the hell? Yeah, because you watched the documentary on Jared Fogle, we suggest you watch Big Mouth. One more. Because you watched Filthy Rich, the story on Jeffrey Epstein, we suggest you also watch Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Oh wait, no, you can't, because Mr. Cooper didn't hang himself.
Oh, shit.
How much time do I have?
You have exactly 1 minute.
1 minute? Okay, one more joke. I'm just going through my new jokes. I want to see if I can get this out. So the Washington Redskins don't exist anymore because the name Redskins is racist and degrading. It's not the first time this has happened. See, there was a team in basketball called the Washington Bullets, but apparently to the NBA, bullets reflect negativity and violence. So now the team is known as the Washington Wizards. Okay, let me see if I got this straight. Redskins are negative or racist and degrading. Bullets are negative and violent. But you're telling me it's okay to take a professional basketball team full of black men and name them after the leader of the KKK?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's go to baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, come to the field. The Washington White Nationalists. Go one step further. Let's go down south and name that NHL hockey team the Florida Black Panthers while you're at it. Any better, but at least it'll be easier to see them on the ice.
Oh,
Time, thank you.
Woohoo!
Okay, Subban,
Yeah.
Woo!
Hey, so anyway, you can get away with that stuff when you live in Canada, buddy, but don't try to. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, our next performer put in a special request to go on early tonight, and I decided I think it was best for all of us if we did let him go on as early as possible. He's been a friend of mine for many, well, he's been a friend of mine, and he's written for a lot of television shows. You may have seen his jokes coming out of the mouths of any number of talk show and pundit type people's mouths. And now you're going to see his jokes coming out of his own mouth. So please welcome Ned Rice.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I've been friends with Mike Langworthy for probably 20, 30 years. And I've known him for that long. We've been friends for about half of that. So just terrific. Mike, I enjoyed your thoughts about the early life of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. It's always good to know which of my friends are going to hell and which are not. So well done. Nice to get there. There is one you overlooked. This is actually documented. When Mary said to Joseph, "I'm pregnant," he said, "Jesus Christ." And she goes, "I was thinking of Kyle." So that's how that happened. And I'll see you in hell. Okay, Mike. I was watching a thriller on TV, this movie, and I realized, you know those pen lights? It's like a flashlight that looks like a pen. Everybody who's ever had one of those in their mouth and they're doing something with their hands, it's almost for sure illegal or a threat to national security. If you ever see that in a movie or a show, the pen light in the mouth to keep the hands free. It seems to me we should do something to discourage that. We should make the pen lights, like put cayenne pepper on them or something distasteful. I think this could make a huge difference in the cybercrime rate. That's what I'm thinking. That's really all I have. Oh, wait, I have another thing. The wages of, I'm getting old now. I mentioned recently I have to watch porn videos with reading glasses now. That's awful. I used to, when I was watching porn videos, I used to always get impatient, and I would fast forward to the end, like, yeah. And now I still do that now, but I do it with cooking videos. I'm like, oh, garlic, yeah, whatever. Beef bourguignon, that's it. Yeah, baby. It's really sad. It's really sad, but it's equally gratifying for me. This time of year, I do a lot of really wonderful charity work. I volunteer. I do outreach, and by that I mean, I work on behalf of others with no hope of recompense or payment. And to me, this kind of, because I'm a giver, I give back. To me, it's the purest, most selfless, and really noble way I can think of to evade taxes. You can't do that. That shit is all, you can write all that shit off. But I was talking to some folks, a lot of the people I work with are in recovery from addiction. A lot of them have done prison time. And I was talking to one of these individuals, and we mentioned that a mutual friend of ours is in a prison upstate Michigan. And this woman said, that's my favorite prison. And I thought, you know what? If you have a favorite prison, you've made some bad choices and life has been unkind to you. I can see having like a favorite bot shop, but if you've done enough study of the penal system in this country that you actually have, like if you've ever given a prison a rating on Yelp, again, there's a pattern of behavior. Nice food, you need to up your game on the weights in the yard, that kind of thing. Then maybe you should rethink some of your some of your choices. But I do work with a lot of people with substance issues, a lot of recovering alcoholics and drug addicts, and I too am in recovery. They always say the first step is you admit that you're powerless over alcohol, that your life has become unmanageable. Well, that was certainly the case with me. Because at that time I was working in Hollywood, and my manager actually got rid of me. He said, "Ned, I can't manage you anymore." So that was, that wasn't funny, but it was suggestive of a general unmanageability that I had to deal with.
So what you're saying then, Ned, what you're saying then is your life became unmanageable because your manager then let you go.
You know, Mike, if anybody's going to mansplain my own fucking joke to me, I'm glad it made all the difference, really, in my, and it accounts for our lack of friendship. So if I could continue, Mike.
Oh, sure. And the good news is I'm not deducting this from your time.
Listen, I've deducted you from my time, Mike. I've spent enough time in this world pretending to be your bullshit friend. I've had better smoke blown up my ass, believe me, Mike. And I say that with love. I say that with love because I know that you're going to hell. I know that you're doomed to a life of an eternity of wailing and gnashing your teeth in the darkness. So thanks for making that clear to us, Mike. And again, have the happiest Christmas possible. That's my time, everybody. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
See you next week. Yay.
You know, if you hadn't said that with love, Ned, I would have taken offense.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
I didn't know. I knew I was a bullshit friend. I just didn't realize everybody knew it.
More of a bullshit acquaintance, really.
That's my problem, is what I'm saying, Ned.
I hear you. I hear you.
And that's the downside of our relationship.
Mhm.
At least once a week, you have to hear me, at least for a few
That
minutes.
and the interaction.
Yeah, well, that, yeah. That and the time you got drunk and I had to push you. Well, you said you were drunk. Anyway, I was
That time at Comedy Writers Camp.
yeah, I was so drunk I didn't know what I was doing.
That was supposed
All
to be
right,
a
anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's been a pleasure having you on the mic, Ned. And you were as funny as you always are, and that's a privilege.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No. You can't say that about my friend Ned Rice. You can't put him down like that.
I hear you.
I enjoyed it. Our next performer, I'm segueing a little bit abruptly because I'm trying to get a lot of people in, and I apologize. I say abruptly after I do 5 minutes of stage. Abruptly, but not efficiently. I waste time. I hurry up.
Do you have
I'm going to have to cut everybody to 3 minutes tonight.
do you have any more of those Jesus jokes you're not doing?
You know, imagine how Curt would be if I gave a shit what you thought. See, we're letting people sit here with their face on camera and they're not getting a chance, whatever. And you know what? Our next performer is delightful. She didn't deserve to have hell right in front of her. She didn't deserve that. And she's going to be wonderful. And I know you're going to love her. Please welcome Jessica Misra. Yeah, let's have a- come on, man.
That's the only intro I want. Just a 5-minute riff between old friends. Guys, I feel like everyone's having a hard time during the pandemic. I forgot to pay my credit card for the first time ever, you know? So I remembered and I ran home and I paid it off and discover they didn't charge me a late fee. And I was like, they must be depressed too. I guess no one's doing their job anymore. That's cool. It's holiday season. A lot of people think liberals are ruining the holidays, you know? And as a liberal, let me just say that I am psyched they're using the word holiday. I get them to use that word so many times. I buy these pre-rolls because I'm an asshole. Pre-rolled marijuana cigarettes. They're like $30 a pop, and I will not learn to roll one myself. So I bought this one. It was called Jesus Bio. I'm keeping with the theme tonight. I got so high, I ascended. I got so high, I spoke to God. And you know what? He's white. Sorry, Gerry. He's white, and he was like, no one's going to believe you. I did like grow up Catholic because my mom's really Catholic. Like she's so Catholic, she calls deviled eggs angel eggs. That's a bummer. I feel like a lot of Catholics really they seem to like marriage, but also like no one hates marriage more than them, right? Because they believe that marriage is at death, and they also believe in heaven. You know, so they're like, heaven's amazing because you're not going to be there.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. That was to no one in particular.
No, it didn't hurt so much when Ned said it.
I should have had like that very like friendly, like those friendly glasses and like a nice warm beard. Then it would have killed me.
A nice one.
I feel like his beard is very friendly. Can beards be friendly?
Yeah, they can. And they can disguise an evil man too, just in case you get any private chat messages.
Okay, if you thought that was dark, get ready. So my sister is in a cult. I mean, she's not anymore though, because she got she got kicked out.
No, wow.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, that's awesome, right? She's not cult material. That's great. But it's not so great when you realize she was forcibly removed against her own will. You know, like they were making the Kool-Aid and she's like, give me a cup. And they were like, not for you. They're like, if this girl doesn't leave, I'm going to kill myself today. You know how unlikable you have to be for a cult to treat you like Southern retail? Be like, oh my God, no, thank you. Ontology, they're always hiring. She married the cult leader. That's how she, you know, everyone's always like, how'd she get in? You know, she applied like everyone, but she also married the leader. He's a raw foodie chef. It's kind of a side hustle. Do you know how annoying you have to be to annoy a raw foodie chef? Okay, that's all I'm gonna do about my sister, I promise.
Hey,
Awesome.
Jessica Misra. Wow, you know, it takes a real personality to get kicked out when you're married to the leader. She's like, yeah, honey, you know, I love you, but Jesus Christ.
You sound like her ex-husband.
You know, I don't doubt it for a minute. Anyway, I'm going to move things along, by the way. Everybody's been so wonderful so far. Well, all but one of you has been so wonderful so far. Our next performer is somebody he's been on another show that Chuck and I co-host called The Apocalypse. Oh, sorry. I got to stop eating that Mexican food. Anyway, and he's a really funny guy, and I know you're gonna love him. Please welcome Jacob Jonas.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody give it up for Mike for hosting this beautiful open mic. This is a great venue.
Thank you.
You'll hear if you have 102 fever, you get a free drink, huh? I do that at open mics at restaurants, and it fucking kills. The managers hate it. Hey, my roommate just got home. Horrible timing. Not planned. Guys, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish, born Jewish, raised Jewish, had a bar mitzvah, but everyone tells me I don't look Jewish, which is great. It's fantastic. That's the best way to look Jewish. Honestly, I love not looking Jewish, mainly because I love banging neo-Nazi chicks. I love tricking them, you know. There's nothing better than banging a neo-Nazi chick and then rolling over and being like, hey, where do you think our son's bar mitzvah party should be? I was thinking laser tag. I don't know. I love infecting their gene pool with my Jew jizz. It's a fun thing to do. I had my bar mitzvah 11 years ago. They played Get Low by Little John at my bar mitzvah 11 years ago, and I still think about that. Here's the fucked up thing. They switched the song right as it started to get explicit. All my friends and I were vibing. everyone, we were just like, to the window, to the wall, to the wall, till the sweat drops down my Havana Gila. Classic. I am Jewish. Judaism is weird. Judaism is not like any other religion. Like, it's really hard to convert to Judaism. In order to convert to Judaism, you have to meet with a rabbi on 3 separate occasions, which I'm assuming is just the rabbi going, "Are you sure?" I've been on J-Date a lot recently. J-Date because I'm just trying to meet girls, not at funerals or bar mitzvahs. I like J-Date's a good app, but it's $1.89 per swipe, so it's a little steep. I don't know if that would go better. I had to pass a kidney stone recently. And Mike, you probably know about these. I had and holy shit, man. They're fucking brutal, dude. I had to pass a kidney stone the other day. It was the most painful experience I've ever had in my entire life. And it just pelted this girl right in the fucking eye. And I was like, do I have to pay you extra for that? And she was like, well, we should get off the bus first. And I was like, I don't want to pay the camera crew another hour. And she was like, well, we can just find another bus. And I was like, well, where can we find another handicapped bus at 2:30 in the morning in Jackson Hole, Wyoming? I just started my own OnlyFans for Chuck and Roy, or Chuck and Mike. OnlyFans is basically it's a Patreon for porn, so you can post nudes, pictures of you nude, and people will pay you. I started an OnlyFans. It's just pictures and videos of me cartwheeling. It's kind of a novel thing, but it's just a fun bit. And I actually met this girl on Tinder, and I matched with her, or I followed her on Instagram, and she was promoting her OnlyFans. And so I messaged her, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And she was like, oh, here's my OnlyFans link if you want to subscribe. And I was like, here's my OnlyFans link. So I sent her my link, and she didn't know what it was. She was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so awesome. We should do a free subscription for each other. And I was like, deal. That sounds awesome. And we sent each other a free subscription. And then she messages me back on Instagram, and she goes, what the hell? And I was like, what? And she's like, this is just pictures and videos of you cartwheeling. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's not fair. And I was like, tell me about it. Your profile is just pictures of your tits. I was looking for cartwheels. OnlyFans is crazy though, because all of these girls from my high school are now starting OnlyFans where they're posting pictures of themselves nude. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, where were you guys when I was 17? I would have masturbated way harder to all these pictures. Now I'm just normal masturbating. Speaking of which, I just got out of a relationship. I used to date this girl. She was a very insecure girl. She would always talk about how, like, you know, like when people are like, oh, I'm so ugly, you know, they're fishing for compliments. My ex-girlfriend always used to do that. She would always be like, oh, I'm so ugly, blah, blah, blah. And I'm a very protective boyfriend. So whenever she'd say like, oh, I'm ugly, my protective instincts would kick in. And I'd be like, holy shit, this girl's talking shit about my girlfriend. About recently a lot how people will go through lengths to say that they don't have a drug problem. Like, I remember this girl in college. I was hanging out with a bunch of people and this one girl, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be a DD to this party. And this girl, Amanda, she was like, I can be DD only if someone buys me cocaine, because my best friend's godmother died last Saturday, and I'm really sad about it. And I was like, just say that you're addicted to cocaine. It's so much easier. Like, your best friend's godmother dying a week ago, that's too many deviations away from you to warrant cocaine. You know what I mean? Like sooner or later, this girl's gonna be like, hey, listen, my dad's best friend from high school was diagnosed with pre-diabetes, so now I have to mainline heroin. You know what I mean? Like, it's too far away. AA coin. You can buy AA coins online for like $3. People are selling them. You don't have to go.
Okay.
I think that's all I have. Thank you guys so much. You've been great.
Thank you, Jacob.
Woohoo!
Jacob Jonas.
Yay!
That was great. That was
I just
good.
wondered,
Yeah.
anybody know what religion Jacob is at all? Because he keeps pretty close to the vest. Anyways, again, I have I have so many Jesus jokes, and I'm just gonna have to go past them because I gotta bring the next person up. She came in a few weeks ago for the first time. I thought she was really funny, and she's only gotten funnier as time has gone on. So welcome. Please welcome. Big round of applause, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Laura.
This is great. All this talk about recovery is great. Now I'm going to talk about it, and then I think it'll qualify as a meeting, and I can get my sheet signed to go back into the halfway house where I'm staying. So that's good. I don't want to get in trouble with I did start going to a church. I mean, you guys are hitting all the things tonight. Like, I go to a non-denominational Christian church, but it's very LGBTQ friendly. And I like to say that right up top so that I don't get attacked for my beliefs by all my open-minded friends. It's like, but I did go because I just felt like in my recovery meetings, there wasn't enough singing about the miracle of getting off parole. It's like, I just wanted, or, some haunting mountain music about getting your kids back. It's not always a joyous occasion. But I do. Yeah, I am. And, it's interesting. I got asked to perform at a cabaret for performers with disabilities. And I was invited by the committee to as a recovering alcoholic. And I'm like, oh, this is a disability? Wow, and they gave me a stipend. I was so honored. And then I thought, the only thing that I sort of differed me from my fellow performers is that as an alcoholic, I don't get a ramp. Now, look, I'm not saying I deserve a ramp, but I can tell you when I was drinking, I sure could have used one, 'cause stairs were no picnic, I knew 3 different people that fell down the stairs and broke their neck and died when they were drinking. I only dated 2 of them, but, so yeah. And to be honest, a straight flat stretch of sidewalk was also not easy for me either when I was drinking. And then and also I don't get my own restroom stall. And again, I'm not saying I deserve one, but maybe if you give an alcoholic one, I wouldn't have had to take one by force wherever I went when I was drinking, I just have a couple of cocktails and lock myself in a stall and set up business. That's how it works. I could do it at your house too. I could RSVP to your party. And if I did that, you were going to need a toolbox to get me out of your bathroom, because I would lock myself in there and wrap myself like a python around your toilet. So, but I'm a miracle now. I knew I was a miracle because, when I got sober and then I started running without the police chasing me, which was a different experience. And I kept doing it. And I even did it in a coordinated outfit outside in the winter. And I knew I was a miracle when I became one of those people that I fucking hate. But I don't do drugs anymore. And those weren't really my thing. I never considered myself a drug abuser. And then I remember a conversation I had with a counselor. And she's like, didn't you tell me that you huffed model glue? And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't consider that drug abuse. I consider that a dark crafting period. I look, I had a hobby on my back, and did I lose time? Yeah, sure. Did I did I get charged with a DIY here and there? Huh? Terrible. I don't know. I have to get to quit winking at the audience. What the audience, you people, you know who you are. But but yeah, did I black out? Maybe. Did I wake up sometimes in a pile of scraps of felt with googly eyes staring up at me, and a couple of popsicle sticks stuck to my ass cheek, and a few sad half-made puppets in the corner, and a haunted looking sock monkey, maybe? Yeah, I did. All right. So yeah. And then she said, and didn't you tell me that you also huffed aerosol deodorant? And I said, yes. And it is a way better high than the roll-on. So licking. But I guess, yes, then I admitted I did have a drug. By the end of my drug use, I just like my drugs hospice grade. My grandmother was in the hospital in the 90s, and she was on a morphine drip, and I was visiting her, and I looked at it and I said, hey, are you going to finish that? I visited a lot of grandmas in the 90s, and most of them weren't mine, but service is the secret. So, all right, that's all I have. Thanks for having me.
And while I'm acknowledging people, we have some paid customers. Chuck, do you have names for us, or are we just going to generally?
I believe Manuel is back. Thanks. Nice to see you. And then it looks like James Longshore's, I believe his parents have joined again. So great to see them again.
Everybody say hi, Mom.
Right?
Hi, Mom.
They're a great audience. We're trying to get as much out of them as we can before we bring James on.
Right. My friend Corey of Corey and Chad, the Smash Brothers, had dropped in and then dipped out, but had fun. And
Really?
Yep. And so
Like the Jesus jokes.
Right. Yeah, I think that covers a lot of the guests. So and then Ragu is watching on the YouTube. So that's a regular comic.
Live. That's another thing that people know. You should tell your friends if your friends are a little sheepish about spending money on a television show that or a Zoom thing, whatever this is. It's not a television show. I know what a television show is.
Old Men on Zoom. That's
if they're a little sheepish about going on Zoom show and paying for a Zoom show when they could watch it for free on YouTube, so that they don't have to donate to a worthy charity. First of all, nice friends you've got. Second, you could watch it on YouTube on a Colorado Comedy Show's page. So
that's awesome. Thank you.
And so we have a longtime friend and a really good comic named Ragu Adabatla, who is watching on the video right now and commenting as we go along. So I'm just assuming it's praise, but he's so you never know is what I'm saying. So our next performer comes to us from Los Angeles. She was here last week and she liked it so well that she came back again this week. Please welcome, if you will, Denise Winkelmann.
Thanks, everyone. Oh my gosh, that's the best intro I've ever had, Mike. So fantastic.
Hey.
And I'm so happy that we have parents here. Like, this is going to be fantastic. I did a show a few weeks ago, and the guy went up after me. It was his birthday. He said, "I've learned so much, and I'm so glad my parents didn't come tonight." And I dressed up for a show a few weeks ago, and I'm at that point during quarantine where I really don't dress up very much. And halfway through the show, I thought, I was like, am I having a heart attack? Like, what is actually happening right now? Like, tightness of chest. Then I just realized that, oh my God, I'm wearing a bra. That's what this feels like. And everybody is so divided right now. Everything is so polarized. And honestly, I'm done arguing. I am so sick of passionate music fans. There is nothing worse than my band is the best guy. And we all know those people. Like, I travel for fish. I'm a deadhead. I love 311. First off, if you love 311, aim higher. And most fans are cool, but it's when they think they're an evangelical pastor trying to convert you. That's where I draw the line. Like, brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to listen to the gospel according to It's Brittany, bitch. And I just love messing with those guys. If you ever ask me what my favorite song is, without a doubt, I will always say It's Friday by Rebecca Black. She is just so talented. And I know Mike is a huge, huge Shania Twain fan. He just loves her. And I lived with two guys during college. It wasn't like that, but one guy was a Beatles guy. The other guy was a Metallica guy. And they would argue so much that one dude got mad and smushed the other dude's Pop-Tarts. That's some rage, guys. That's what Joe Biden wants to do every time Donald Trump sends out a tweet. Just like, fuck you and fuck these Pop-Tarts. And it started a war in our apartment. It did. And one guy started throwing pieces of Pop-Tart in the middle of the night. The other guy started throwing spoonfuls of syrup. I woke up, I put my feet down, and I heard that crunch. It just sounded like I was Joe Pesci in Home Alone. If I would have thrown in some foam, it would have been the worst S&M club I've ever been to.
Hello.
And I just hate this subjective arguing. It's like when guys argue over who the best basketball player is, like Michael, LeBron, Kobe. If I hear that on Sports Talk Radio, I'm going to call in and say, well, it's obviously Tim Duncan. All the guys are going to DM me now and be like, well, it's obviously Kobe, and have you heard the new album from Metallica? It's awesome. And these are my true life confessionals. So this is my reality show style true confessional. I once went on a date with a girl in Denver who got white girl wasted. And while I was in the bathroom, met 6 dudes at the bar and left to go have an orgy. My friends to this day still call her the gangbang girl, and they keep telling me I should give her another chance because she sounds fun. That is, if you call chlamydia fun. That's what I got, guys. Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the record, I am not a Shania Twain fan. I just like short skirts and men's shirts. Just want to make sure. And I also just breathe. So I just want everybody to know that there's a distinction to be made. That's all I'm saying. I guarantee you that for the next 5 minutes, at the absolute worst, you'll be surprised. Please welcome, if you will, Smyth. Ed Smyth.
Woohoo!
Oh, Dynamite, yeah. No. The thunder bada, Hunde debe, Hoga debe, Hunde, Hunde banana.
Son of Hugg, ladies and gentlemen. Hugg, son of Hugg. Let's say bye-bye to the sickest guy you'll probably It takes a harmless turn when you think about it. Wow. Yeah, so I believe those of you who have not experienced think I was safe in saying, at the very least, we were surprised. And for the rest of you, I thought it was very funny. And let's keep the show rolling. I'm so sorry for everybody who's had to wait so long and who will still have to wait a while longer. But it's just a function of the popularity of the mic and of the fact that I'm completely self-indulgent. So anyway, we run it like a Swiss watch. That's right. To save the gold of the Nazis. Which is what Swiss watches do, is what I'm saying. Anyway, please welcome Christina Levis. Sorry for the whatever. Yeah, Christine.
Oh, I have no idea what just happened at all, but I refuse to attend another of my company's Zoom meetings without Ed there because I just want him to be off video the entire time and come in right at that part when it gets boring. That was weird. That was weird and awesome and unexpected. Anyway,
Different every time too, man.
Yeah. He can have 30 seconds of my time to just make that observation. So how many of everyone here is familiar with the Madonna horror complex?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Awesome. I knew, James, I knew you would know. Awesome.
Married one.
So your parents raised you well.
Good timing. Timing is everything.
Yes. So the Madonna horror complex, for those who don't know, is when men only want to marry women that they see as pure and want to fuck women that they see as whores. So this was made popular by Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate, JFK, and my father. Just saying, Dad, you can't fuck prostitutes, then marry a virgin and think it's going to save you. Just saying. And I actually had an argument with a friend, Kyle, who I know Ned mentioned earlier, the name Kyle, about this. And he's like, Christine, you're wrong. Men totally want a woman who's both nurturing and sexual. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, well, I'll tell you. MILF has been the #2 category on Pornhub for the last decade. All right, Kyle, please cite that piece of scientific evidence in your dissertation on why sexual double standards no longer exist. All right. So I've been divorced twice, which means, thank you, Mike, which means that I have said I can't do this as many times as I've said I do. My first husband was gay. And so lots of stories from the beginning about that. My first husband was gay. My second husband was a narcoleptic. So they both fucked me in the dark with their eyes closed. One definitely wished that he were asleep. The other, I think, wished he were awake. But I'm not sure about him. So the narcoleptic, he was also a huge porn addict. So much so that he would literally turn me down when I initiated sex and like go off, close the door and take care of it on his own. And I confronted him about it. And I'm like, look, like, I want to be part of this. Like, I'm a sexual creature. I want to be part of it. He's like, Christine, I do include you. I crop a picture of your face out and I put it over the chicks in the porn clips. I'm like, don't give me a gaping bleached asshole without my consent. Mine is dark and tight, just the way God intended it. And here's the thing: when he wasn't watching porn, he was whining about porn. Like, you guys ever seen one of those kids that, like, I don't know, this might be like a pre-COVID reference, but like a kid at a supermarket checkout or something, like whining for a toy? That's exactly what Justin would do, except for oral sex. He'd be like, Christine, like, why can't you just choke on it like a porn star? And I was like, that is so fucking offensive, because you have to have a hard cock for me to do that.
Oh.
Just saying, if it's not hard, it's not deep throating, it's shallow mouthing. So after those two, I was like, well, how can I fix this? Like, what's next in my like men journey? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go old, like really old. I'm gonna fucking sugar daddy the shit out of this. So I went down to Florida, found an old wealthy man with a yacht. We slept together. He kept it hard, which was good. That was an improvement over the last one. After we finished, he rolled over and did the most terrifying thing that anyone can do to a woman in the bedroom. He put on a goddamn CPAP machine. I'm not sure if you know what that sounds like, but it's a little something, like a little Darth Vader, a little something like this. It's like, and I swear at one point he looked over at me and said, "Christine, I'm old enough to be your father." I think I'll leave you on that. Have a good night. Thanks for having me. Woo!
Christina Levis, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! And we're going to keep it going with our next performer who's been very patient, as have you all. And I'm once again, very sorry for people who've had to wait so long. You're going to like her. I like her. Please welcome Paula Maddox. Paula Maddox.
Hello.
Yay.
Well, thank you very much, Mike and Chuck. I appreciate the time. On Mondays, it's like my self-check-in with the world. Like, I'm still here, bitches. Like, it's funny too. You know, like, I'm not just existing, I'm thriving. Like that Meghan Markle bitch. She's like, you have to ask if I'm okay. Bitch, you got everything. You got everything so much you're bored, man. You just fucking bored. But that's a tangent. It's a tangent I didn't plan on, but I have to thank my internet sponsor first before I get going, because, you know, you have to kiss where it comes from, you know. See, my neighbor is a sponsor of my internet again tonight. Going to hell. No, come to find out, it's in my DNA. See, I like taking from the white man because I'm a native. I know you can't tell by looking at me. Yeah, I'm an incognito engine. You know, I can hide in plain sight.
Oh,
super fucking handy. And it was like one of the few side effects, good side effects of, you know, the colonialization and everything. Like we're good at assimilating, and some of us can hide in plain sight, you know? So, phew. The world is fucking dangerous right now, y'all. I mean, you can tell for yourselves. I mean, when the white people are getting thumped that hard, like, fuck. So I keep my head down. So my mom's the native one. She's not 100% native, but she looks like she is. So that's been fun, you know? Yeah. They make them feisty. Let me tell you, the females are fucking feisty. My white daddy that came from Iowa, all I can say is that boy had game back in the day. Fucking game. I mean, it's difficult, you know? I'm from Hoopa, Northern California, and I'm kind of grateful that that's where my tribe's at, because by the time the soldiers got to us, they had given themselves PTSD. So, phew, you know, so they started marrying us instead of killing us, you know. Nice, you know, good side effect. And that's how I got my white daddy, you know. Yeah. My mom married a white man, so I thought I would too, you know, because there is a little bit of safety left in the patriarchy. So, you know, I want to survive, you know. Oh, it's funny. People wonder what a native mom's like, and I say put all the ethnic moms together, all the ethnicities, and then piss it off. That's a native mom. Yeah. And I'm alive to tell the tale. Can I tell you? I'm so excited for that. Plus, natives like telling a good story. You know what I mean? So kills two birds, one stone. I notice in life that I get funnier the more the trauma kicks up, you know, and phew, life has been very traumatic for everybody. Like, I think trauma is way too easy to hide. Sometimes I wish we just had like chirons that go across our forehead, like, don't fuck with me today because the kids, or don't fuck with me today because the job, you know? Because I think it would help people do better. That's stupid. I didn't plan to say that. Can I just tell you? That was funny. What I meant to tell you was my mom was so scary that I got hit by a car twice when I was younger on my bike, and I never told her because I would have got spanked, you know, for fucking being dumb and getting hit by a car. You know, that's my generation. Yeah. My mom thinks that God condones the spanking because he puts a crack in the ass to absorb the blow. You know, I don't agree, you know. So fast forward all these years, and she likes my comedy, and I gave her this set, and I got spanked a few weeks ago when I went to see my mom, because she saw this bit and was like, "Oh, those people think I'm fucking mean. What the fuck?" She's like, "You could have told me." I'm like, You've seen yourself, you're scary. But in our family, we actually get native names. I'm one of 3 sisters, and my older sister's name is Daytime Moon, which I took to mean that she was just hot and scolded everybody around her. You know, it was accurate. It's really accurate. My younger sister, her name is Butterfly. That's pretty nice to look at, you know. Fragile as a motherfucker, can I just tell you? Oh, so fragile. And I'm the middle child, obviously. And my name is Spiked Buck, like a deer. Yeah, growing up, I thought it maybe, you know, I was a tomboy, so it kind of fit, and it was confusing because it kind of fit. And then, but I knew I wasn't a lesbian, you know, my bread wasn't buttered that way, you know, so I married my husband and fucked my life up that way. But I wonder, did I miss the boat? Could I maybe been transgendered? Like, I wonder, you know, until last year. See, last year I was going through the forest at 3 a.m. and there was a deer, and I broke and I didn't hit it. And I was super, phew, but his brother was tailgating and I spiked that buck. So I've earned my engine name, y'all. I've come full fucking circle. I leveled up, you know, because my cousin Two Dogs fucking, he can't ever do that, you know, but I spiked the butt. All right. Thanks all for the time. I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Mike.
Thank you. Paula Maddox. Paula Maddox, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes. And, we have a long-time and frequent performer on the show tonight who hasn't been here in a while, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her again. Please welcome. I keep saying please welcome. What am I, Johnny Carson? Oh, Johnny Carson. For those of you who don't, oh, never mind. You know what? Get culturally literate.
Yes.
At any
you
rate.
are correct, sir.
A dog, a pog, and a wog. Anyway, sorry. Now I'm doing Carson bits. People don't know who Carson is, so let's do his obscure bits. Anyway, our next performer is Christina Kliman. Give her a big round of applause.
Guys, my dog did feel like job hunting, so and profusely masturbating. I wasn't sorry. I just, by the way, Mike, you look like you got your hair cut. It looks very good on you.
Thank you. I have not had a haircut since March, but
Okay.
it's all
That's
back.
fine.
It's all back behind my ears now.
I just enjoy giving compliments for no reason. It's fine. So I did a bit of research, you guys, this weekend, and trying to understand, like, you know, my fucked upness, which is quite prevalent. And so I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 5, and autism wasn't really, I don't think autism was as known as it is now. And so I used to do this thing, you guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but I used to do this thing called arm flapping, which is like a tick or something. And so I was actually with another comic doing a podcast last night, and apparently I learned that what I was doing is called stimming, which is like a way that you stimulate your nervous system when you are like anxious or bored or something. So I've been stimming for the past 25 years. And in order to stop doing that, I would like to say that I'm the proud owner of a double amputee. Fuck you. That's a new line. We're working on that. Apparently it wasn't as effective as Alan Bromwell said it was going to be. A little bit, when I was 16, you guys, my parents had just gotten divorced, and I think my mom is having like a really bad day, right? Because I was chaotic and my brother was stinky, right? So my mom called the police officers on my sister a few different times because she was an unruly child. And I was chaotic and stinky, right? So you think about your mom calling the cops on you, like, what a fucking Karen, am I right? Like, it could have been, I mean, no, I don't know. I mean, I could understand, like, a mom calling the police on you because you fucking murdered somebody or you know, fucking ran naked down the street or something. But, like, just, I don't know. I have a fucked up family. That's literally all I wanted to work on, you guys. Thank you. I appreciate your time. You're the best, Mike and Chuck.
Thank you, Christine.
Woohoo!
Thank you very much. And
Thank
I have
you.
a big apology to James. I skipped over your name, James. You're on now. Please don't be offended. It was my mistake, and I'm an idiot. But you are wonderful. I look forward to seeing you perform. And everybody else is looking forward to it too.
Mike is not lying for once.
Hey, wait a well, okay, you're right.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Colorado. I just zoomed in from Bucharest, and boy, are my jokes tired.
Hello.
Because they've been waiting so long. It's 6 a.m. here now, you know? And people think that to perform comedy at 6 a.m. with this much energy, I must be doing coke, but I am not doing coke. I am drinking coke.
Hello.
That is a cheap joke, and I am surprised you guys went for it. Really. I respected you all until now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love cheap jokes because I'm a broke comedian. Welcome to Dinner Table Jokes. I'm your host, James Longshore. Let's have another round of applause for our host network. Where am I again? Open mic. Open mic. Yes. I am being beamed to you tonight through the miracle of Zoom and brought to you in part by COVID. I grew up in New York City with 3 sisters, and they were a coven of bitches. Witches. Witch. I meant witch. Witch. No, I meant bitches. I'm sorry. I'm suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic sister disorder. Maybe you've heard of it. Okay, I'm taking pills. Not for that. I'm just taking pills. No, but we have some things in common. We did, like, we all have long blonde hair, and none of us have tits, and we all know the lyrics to Spice Girls. Like that? You like that move? That's 3 sisters, baby. I was the special one in the family because I was the only boy, and my sisters had to compete for attention and form these 3 distinct personalities that helped me tell them apart. The Republican, the actress, the lesbian. Yes. And I really was the glue of the family, helping my sisters bond over hating me. But unfortunately, that bond did not last forever because some of them are no longer talking because the only thing that the Republican hates more than me is same-sex marriage. But no, I kid because I love and because the lesbian is a performance enhancement specialist at West Point Military Academy. So I'm going to move on now. I went to high school in Philadelphia. I spent a decade there. In Philadelphia, not in high school. Not in high school. And I had a lot of jobs there. You know, I worked as like actor, waiter, bartender, record store clerk, drug dealer, hooker. Sorry, escort. Escort was the proper term. And, you know, Trump famously said during the election that bad things happen in Philadelphia. And maybe, I guess, from his perspective, that's true. But I think a lot of good things happened in Philadelphia. I lost my virginity in Philadelphia. I smoked my first joint in Philadelphia. I did my first line of coke in Philadelphia. And my mom is in the audience. So, hi, Mom. She's a good sport. Round of applause for my mom.
Hey.
Hey, Mom. Hey, look, Mom. I'm on a Zoom show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Making her proud. Making her proud. Wow. I am running out of time already. I waited so long. I thought that meant extra time. You skipping me should mean extra time.
Take extra time then. Sure. You're only making 12 enemies tonight.
Oh, that's like 1% of my total enemy list. No, I will end actually on this. I am an actor out here in Rollywood, in Romania. And I just, I had to move to Romania because it's the only place that they're still casting white guys in movies. And although I don't consider myself white, I consider myself like off-white, like eggshell, you know? Anyway, so I got a role in a new film. It's a Swedish film directed by a Norwegian, set in America, filmed in Romania, because that's Rollywood. And that's Rollywood. And the sound guy on the movie who hooked up my mic was named Mike. And I was thinking, he's pretty good, but is he Langworthy? But I can't tell you because I don't know what Lang is. So I'm going to pass the mic back to Mike now, and he can tell me what can make a person worthy of a Lang.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that, James. Oddly, I've never heard that before. It's an English name, and probably the basic one is Longworthy, which means somebody who is long, always worthy. And that's a yawner.
I was going to say, like, does it mean you're Superman?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said, but I'm sure it was hurtful. So congratulations. You've made it. You should be proud. Your parents should be proud. They raised a son to make an old man unhappy. Sorry. See, I get angry at people. I get hot with them. I go unfair. I don't like it, but it's who I am. What am I supposed to do? Oh, right. Mature. Okay, but I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is introduce our next performer who came in late tonight just for the opportunity to do a set on our show, and I'm very touched that he did that. I'm sorry he had to wait as long as he did, but I'm glad that he came in at all. And please welcome Josh DiDonato.
Yeah.
DiDonato.
Woo!
Woo! Josh.
Right.
And who?
Can you hear that? There's a car alarm
Yes.
went off. Oh, okay. Good stuff. Good to see you guys. I do miss getting to perform in person. I did a Zoom thing on recently out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was thinking about when I went to Tulsa about 5 years ago to do some shows at the Looney Bin in Tulsa, which I also miss terribly named comedy clubs. But I was looking for some places to do some sets on my off nights in Tulsa, and I found a listing for a Christian open mic in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is a true story. And which I didn't end up going to. I don't know if I would have been eligible to perform or attend as a heathen Jew, but some of the things that you could expect to see at this Christian open mic: Christian rock, which, you know, I've heard of, Christian poetry, that makes sense, you know, not a stretch, Christian rap, which we have since been graced with by Kanye West, and also Christian mime, which, you know, how often have we all taken our families out to a mime show as you do? And it just turns out to be one of those filthy X-rated mime shows. I went to one of these and the guy was good. You know, he had a very inventive bit where he sodomized a goat. And hey, the guy was very talented. You saw the goat. You could tell he was entering a goat, but not for everyone. But I was thinking, you know, like, what would Christian mime be? It seems like a limited repertoire. Like, I guess you do this scene, right? And then, you know, what, kneeling and praying. And then if you really want to stretch it, you know, slaughtering thousands of people who won't convert to Christianity. I feel like there's not a whole lot And then there's got to be other denominational mimes, right? You figure Jewish mime, fair amount to work with there. You could do, Noah building the ark and then walking the animals up 2 by 2, and you can act out all the animals. I guess you could do Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt. That could be good. Probably the hardest denominational mime to pull off, I'm guessing, would be Buddhist mime, which is really just the absence of mime. But I don't know. Donald Trump, if you didn't know, is trying to squeeze in a handful of federal executions on his way out the door. Not a lot else really to do these days as the president. So, it's good that he's focusing on the important stuff. But I was just thinking, like, there's so many Christians in this country, a certain subset of, right-wing white evangelical Christians who support him and therefore support the death penalty. And Christians supporting the death penalty when the one person that they base, their decisions and lifestyle on was killed via the death penalty. Seems odd, just think about it. What if there had never been any death penalty? Jesus Christ might still be with us today. All right.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was killed by the big, but only briefly. I mean, if you buy that stuff, I'm always amazed by the guys who, they say, oh, well, I could never be a Hindu. I mean, who wants to believe in all those 8-armed gods and something with an elephant's head and a trunk and it, as opposed to the carpenter that got put on a cross and then showed up 3 days later going, what did I miss? That's objective reality. I love conservative Christians because they believe the right to life begins at conception and ends at birth. They also believe in the death penalty, so it's great. Anyway, so if you're an evangelical Christian, I apologize for the feelings that you have at my. I don't apologize for saying it, but I apologize for the feelings they engender and who are unable to accept reality as the rest of us know it. But anyway, let's not get into that. Our next and tonight final performer is the producer of this show and the co-host on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time with me of the Apocalypse Show, which is a showcase type show. And he's very funny in his own right. Please welcome, if you will, Chuck. I make fun of Mike during both shows. Roy.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody. Mike, great to see you, my charming friend. And James Longshore, wonderful to see you. Your jokes are just like your cocaine, always a few good lines. And then for some of them, just cut them with some laxative and they'll go over easier. Christina, nice to see you too. Not sure if you're having dinner or just practicing to blow guys with small dicks, but nice to see you. Hope it's tasty. I'm like every other business owner. I'm just nervous. I feel like I could pee. Don't. Thank you, but don't. You'll only encourage me. I am celebrating today my 8th grade Knowledge Bowl team victory. And as soon as they finish the recount of the 9th grade Knowledge Bowl, we're going to be 2-0, and that's pretty good. Sorry, I just, I have presidential aspirations, and I want to be like that guy. 2 election volunteers walk into a bar. The bartender and 6 other people not wearing a mask chase them down, stand outside their house, and yell, "Stop the steal!" Okay. Sorry, that might have been too excitable. Later this week, I have to roast, and not have to, I get to the honor of roasting the president of the community college where I teach. And for a moment, I thought I would try some of those jokes here, but then I realized anything that works in real life would never work in an academic setting. All right, one definite keeper. I'm really happy with that one. I teach, I drink coffee, therefore I am. Coffee is like the only perk for teaching. Thank you, sorry whoever chuckled, but I made you do that and I'm proud. I set my coffee maker to adjunct faculty and it broke. But seriously, my coffee maker broke last Monday and I had to use my backup French press, which immediately surrendered after 1 cup. I ordered a new coffee maker and I'm just going to try to make this as short as possible. I went to pick up the coffee maker. I had made the mistake of ordering the coffee maker online and agreeing that I would pick it up at the store and taking a leisurely walk down to the store and apparently getting there too early to pick up my coffee maker, which is where I met Janet. And if you've been following my comedy routines, Janet's are a lot like Karen's, but they have shittier jobs, like desk clerk manager. If you can guess like where she works, I'll give you a Wall Merit badge.
Yeah.
I go to pick up my coffee maker and all that happened is I tried to pick up the coffee maker from the shelf and apparently to Janet, I can't do that. She actually said to me, you can't do that. And in a room full of comedians, I think I'll find agreement with, don't ever fucking tell us we can't do that. Because then it's like, now I'm at work. Now I have to mock you and report this back to audiences. I simply, I asked if I could leave with my coffee maker, and Janet said she went on with her policies. There was something about you can't get that because somebody else might be picking it right now. And I was like, there's 7 other like people out here standing around doing nothing. I believe they're only picking their ass. Could they possibly go pick me a coffee maker? And that's when Janet was like, no. And I'm like, I have the coffee maker right there. She says, no again. And I go, all right, I get it. And she starts explaining the policy to me. And that's when I get a little frustrated. I have my mask on. So I'm like, miss, I'm trying to smile here, but it sounds to me like you're trying to explain a Walmart policy to me. And that is not complex. I'm not misunderstanding you. I'm just pointing out that that's the coffee maker. You say I can't have it. And that's ridiculous. And she's like, no, it's not ridiculous. And that's, yeah, that's when I was like, hold on, Janet. Walmart policy might be your forte, but ridiculous is my forte. Ounces of freedom, biatch. Ridiculous is my world. And I can think of 1984 reasons this is ridiculous. I can think of an automaton of reasons why this is ridiculous, Janet. Just push some fucking buttons and let me have my coffee maker. Look, I'm not a jerk. I left without my coffee maker. I didn't make a scene. I knew I was on a sunny walk. I knew it was a 40% chance I was going to get my coffee maker, 100% chance I was going to have a sunny walk home. So I just went for the sunny walk. If you ask for the manager in this moment, you're a Karen. That's That's how I can explain that to you. If you're wondering, like, what are Karens? Why do gay people make fun of Karens? Karens are the type who are like, I need to see your manager and I'm going to have your job. And I realized I'm not a Karen. I'm just a Chuck. I did get a coffee maker on the next day. I've one last joke about Janet's. Janet's can't imagine why Orwell could be one word. Thanks, Mike. That's the one that it popped in my head like as we were talking, and I'm like, you know, a fucking bit, Janet. I'm not gonna forget. Orwell is one word. Next to Janet was a Linda. Lindas have solutions. I have a sister that's a Linda. The Linda at the Walmart was like, well, you can cancel your coffee maker order and then just buy it right now. I don't know. That's a solution. That's it. That's all Janet needed to do. But Janet was like, I'm going to explain policy to you and you're going to fucking get it. And I was like, I have a Linda. How do you know you have a Linda? You get cards for everything. That's what Lindas do. Lindas care about you and they send cards for everything. If one of you had a Linda, she'd be like, nice set. Here's a card. We get cards in our family from Linda for your birthday. You get cards, of course, for Christmas, but how about Halloween? What about Thanksgiving? What about Valentine's Day? Of course, and of course. We're Catholic, so Easter. I think I covered St. Patrick's Day. Then there's Arbor Day. Like that, she really sends an Arbor Day card. I'm like, honey, how about an E-card for Arbor Day? I think the trees would appreciate that. I mean, just take one more minute to try and describe what Lindas do. Like, my sister should have that job. You know, in like spy movies when they steal the briefcase and they got to photograph what's inside, and you know, like they bring it to the van, photograph what's inside, then they got to get it back, right? That's the secret agent's job, to do all the dangerous stuff. But when they get to the van and they got to open the briefcase and snap the photos and then put everything back precisely, that should be my sister. And here's why. I was 7. That means my brother's 9, my sister's 11, and my parents left her in charge for the day. So it turns out they were going Christmas present shopping, and I didn't know. I was up in my room believing in Santa Claus and told my parents were going shopping and I needed to be really good and listen to my sister or else Santa Claus wouldn't come. So I sat at my desk and made up paperwork to do and looked officious and as good as possible. I just sat being good, going like, don't F this up. You've been a prick all year, but you're going to get a G.I. Joe battleship. I know it. And in comes my brother. He goes, Charlie, we have a mission. And I don't know if you've ever been a 7-year-old boy, but missions are your life when missions pop up. So my brother told me I needed to be on security, like I needed to be watchman at the top of the basement stairs. He's watching for mom and dad. And Linda and Richard went down the stairs and into the furnace room, which is the point of the mission where I was like, thank God I'm on watch duty. 7-year-olds are afraid of the furnace room. And there was noise from inside the furnace room. First there was silence. And then I was wondering, like, did they get killed by what the monster in the furnace room? And then there seemed to be gleeful noises. So I left my post and went down the stairs, and my brother and sister are looking at boxes, and then it turns out they're like, I look closer and they're looking at presents, and I'm lost. I go, what are those? And it's presents, Charlie. And then I go, I read the tags and I'm like, these say they're from Santa. And my brother goes, Mom and Dad are Santa, Charlie. I thought you knew. Which is why his name is Dick. He knew I didn't know. He knew I was upstairs just being good. And he's the reason, and that moment is why I don't have a G.I. Joe battleship. we checked out every Christmas present. And that's how, like, my sister is the one who can reveal Scotch tape. She can pull Scotch tape off a present and open it up and figure out what's inside and then reseal the present. And you can still smell my mom's Chanel perfume. Like it's still captured inside the present. That's how good my sister is at breaking into the packages. And yes, my mom wears Chanel only at the holidays. It's because she has to get rid of the bottle she got last year. Okay. Young people, I gave you some things to look up. Starting with Chanel. Enjoy those Googles. Other than that, I got some work done on those bits. So thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck is funny. You're just gonna have to live with that.
Yes.
You got a lot of problems. I've been in meetings with you. Tough experiences, but you're funny. And you just, like I said, you're just gonna have to live with that.
I'll figure it out one day.
Like all but one of the other performers on this show, you're just gonna have to live with being funny. Anyway, this has been a lovely show.
Right. And stay tuned for the newsletter tomorrow. We'll send out a thank you note and we'll include the name of the one person who was not as funny as the rest of us. So look for that.
That's the trick. It's a funny joke, and then it always turns out to be me. The email always goes out. Just like in the real stand-up world, the least funny guy on the show is always the MC.
Right. Welcome to Catch a Rising Star, everybody.
Although I have to admit, a couple of those MCs were pretty good people.
Right.
Anyway, Paula Mattocks, Curt Seablom, James Longshore, Gerry Hodges, Ed Smyth, Laura Hugg, Denise Winkelmann, Christina Levis, Christina Kliman, Chuck, of course, Roy, who got his Forte Acres and a Mule on his set tonight. Misra. It was a little bit of freedom for you, if you know what I mean, is what I'm saying. Hey, did I call you Christina Elizabeth? I mean, Levis? I certainly didn't call you Christina Elizabeth.
I think both of us are Christine, right?
Well, I hope I called you Christine.
Yeah, I think both that you call Christina are Christines, but it's fine.
Yeah, you know what? I fucked up. The thing that I do. Ned Rice was great tonight. Jacob Jonas, Jessica Misra. I don't know if I said anybody's name twice. That doesn't mean I liked you twice as much, but it doesn't mean I didn't. And James's parents and all the other people who paid to see the show and all the people who were on YouTube tonight to watch us. Thank you very much. Because without you, we'd just be a bunch of people with really cranky points of view on lockdown in our own apartments. Wait a minute. Even with you, that's what we are. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. See many of you, I hope, if not all of you, next Monday. And I look forward to it.
Mike Langworthy, everybody.
Yeah.
Nice job, Mike.
Yes, it's not 100% necessary for everybody to get off right away. I try to run this thing so it's a little bit like the green room at a comedy club. You know, everybody having a good time and laughing, and I butt in every once in a while with something stupid. But you don't necessarily have to run off just because the official show is over.
Yeah, we know James got blow, so.
I ran out.
Bye, YouTube. Bye,
right
YouTube.
after the show.
James has blow on another continent, Chuck.
Right.